Welcome to Wild, Women in Lending Determined to Make an Impact. I'm your host, Robin Lavasser. They say our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Welcome back to Wild. You know what's wild is sometimes there are such simple things that you can do to move the dial in your business, and yet they are so simple that you almost don't believe it. And so you don't give it the honor and the credit and the implementation and the discipline needed to actually see the fruits come from that. And it's such a miss in general in sales. And I would say specifically in both lending and in real estate to this. I'm going to give you a tactic right now, and I've tracked this for years. And I did a speech. One of my biggest debuts, if you will, on stage was simply because of this specific tactic. And when I gave the speech, I did a lot of research on the numbers to say, hey, beyond the emotion of, I think this is great and I think it really works. And yes, I think it's making a difference in my business. When I went back and tracked the impact that it had made on my business, my jaw was on the floor, because the truth is I hadn't even personally given it the honor, if you will, the value that it actually had. And I think there's a lot of that in our business where we don't even understand what possibly is not actually that valuable and what really is, especially when it feels boring, mundane, possibly so simple that we want to skip it. We think won't have a big impact if I miss. And I will tell you that is so dead wrong. And the big tactic that I'm going to give you today, and you're going to think, really, this is not that sexy of a topic. It's Tuesday and Friday updates, but truly selling through them. And I've done one on this before, but I want to really get into the weeds, if you will, on the why, the psyche behind it, and then the discipline of what it can do for your business in growth. So when I say I grew 18 agents, that's not cold calling. That's not being in many, different groups and attending a ton of events and everything else. I call it desk selling. And what I mean by that is that you're already working on loans, but you're using your phone time and your opportunity time to always be selling. And you understand that concept. And I didn't. I did Tuesday and Friday updates very loan-based, very inconsistently. Some happened on Wednesdays, some happened on Mondays. Oh, I've already talked to them. I didn't formalize it. I didn't systematize it, and I didn't stick to it. But once I did, my business shot up like a rocket ship. And what's so incredibly funny about that is that we will spend money, we will ask questions, we will go to seminars, we will get motivation, we will do a million things to try to grow 18 realtors in 1 year. And yet, if we just did this one simple thing, it's so simple, you probably aren't going to give it the clout that it deserves and really the discipline that it deserves. And yet, I know I am proof, as are countless others, of what it can do for your business. So let's get into it. Let's dive in. Tuesday update. It starts as one of your small kept promises. And when I say small kept promises, I think sometimes we want to offer unrealistic or grandiose promises on loans. And when we do that, we say things like, you can get a hold of me anytime. I'll always call you back within a few minutes. Those are grandiose. They seem small, but the truth is there's white lies in there. That's not true. If you're with a client, if you're truly on vacation, if you have a family emergency, if you have back-to-back calls, you're not getting back to anybody within a matter of minutes. It's not sustainable. And the truth is, it's simply emotional to say those things, right? That's when you are selling, not adding value. A Tuesday update is something that you can say every Tuesday without fail. You will hear from me as an update on this transaction. That's a great space to start. Now, there is self-accountability and there is commitment, if you will, to the referral partners, to the clients. And when they know that, and then they experience it, meaning, hey, if you're going to hear from me, even more importantly, by noon on a Tuesday, you don't ever have to come knocking to us. You don't have to take the time to think, Am I going to hear from the lender? What's going on with my file? Where are we at on things? When they don't have to think that, because they learn to build trust and confidence in the fact that, you know what, I was going to call, but it's Monday night at 5, and I know they're going to call me by noon tomorrow because they said Tuesday update. So there's one piece to how magical they are. And these are kind of the behind the scenes. The other pieces to it, and this is such a mistake, we call and we want to actually talk about the transaction, or we want to talk about ourselves, or we instantly ask for, I'd like the opportunity to work with you, and all these things. And it's yada, yada, yada. I will tell you, here is the number one secret that I used, I shifted and created within my Tuesday updates, and it was magic. Be interested in them. Period. End of story. Tuesday updates are actually the reverse. Hear the magic here. It's about you getting an update from them, on them, about them, not giving anything on our side. It's not that you wouldn't give information if it was needed. It's not that you won't say things, but here's how I look at it. Hey, we're on track to have an on time and smooth closing. That's your Tuesday update. So simple. Tell me about you. So if you're calling the clients, you're talking about them. Where are you guys at? If you started packing, what's the landlord situation? I know you were worried about that. Give me a little update, right? Let's talk through all the things that are focused on you. And I guarantee you, you'll uncover some things during that that makes them feel more tied in, more cared for, closer, if you will, to you, and then future referrals, just because of every week being able to have conversation that isn't about, this is why you need this, and this is the numbers here, and this is the rate here, and all the overwhelming daunting, instead of just, tell me how you're feeling. What are you anxious about? What are you excited about? Is there anything right now outside of even lending and getting the money there on time and getting you your keys that the team and I could help you with? When you ask people things like that and then you demand answers, meaning that you pause and listen, and there's got to be something that you're thinking about. There's got to be something I can help with, right? What does the future look like? Whatever it is. Man, information on the schools and when enrollment is. It's a brand new family out of state, right? Like information on, and I realize the realtor puts that in a pamphlet at the end for some of them and all of these things, but why wouldn't you come to the table with interest and value in your clients? When it comes to your buyer's agent, same thing. What are you thinking about when it comes to these buyers, right? What in the transaction am I unaware of that has been great or been hard for you? Talk to me about you, your needs. The file's fine. Like that should be this much of that Tuesday update. The rest should just be focused on them. And my most magical, where I added agents to it, the listing agent. Every single time I call a listing agent for a Tuesday update, my very first call always demands to be live. I want to make sure we get on the phone. We're going to find a way to talk. And then I want to know all about the listing. Where'd you get it? Who referred it? You can't tell me everything that's going on with the seller. You know, some people are a little more close to the chest on those types of things that you don't leverage it. But what's timing needs for you? How important are things? Tell me all about all of these things. The moment they tell me where the referral came from for the listing, I'm asking more questions specifically about that. Tell me more. What about that? Interesting. Wow, that's fantastic. Not very many people do that. Impressive. I love that. Tell me more. What else? What other listings? How many do you like to carry at once? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Let me learn. Let me learn. Let me be interested. Absolutely, use the words like, hey, chatty Kathy. Yes, I want them to be a chatty Kathy and feel like they were listened to and I was interested solely in them. So when I say selling, we think we have to come to something with a great offer. When I say selling, I think that we have to immediately ask for the appointment and those kind of things. The biggest miss in general in Tuesday updates is that we want to give an update and then ask for a referral. I'd love a referral. I'd love this. I'd love that. You don't have to do that when you make somebody feel more than they just get updated. You make them feel cared for. You make them feel heard. You make them feel catered to. You can do all of that. You're making 3 calls every single week. Yes, you can back it up in writing. Yes, you can send it to escrow. We do all of those things Tuesdays and Fridays, but Tuesdays is a loan officer's time to do desk selling. And when you say that you're selling, what you're really doing is finding their needs by listening and asking great questions, highly engaged, wanting to learn more, be interested, get them off of the nitty gritty of the transaction and into let's get a deeper connection over this 21-day, 30-day, 60-day period that we're going to work together. And then it's an automatic, I feel closer. And the true thing is people refer who they know, like, and trust. And we don't work hard enough on that over performance and all these things over here. And this is not only where the fun lies, but it's where the connections lie, and it's where the longevity ultimately is created. So do your Tuesday updates with a whole new thing, not thinking at all about whether or not you can give them information. It's what can I get updated from them for myself that makes them feel seen, heard, valuable, cared for, and how can I do that every single day? And I promise you'll go home not only more fulfilled, but with a lot more loans in the future. If this was helpful, I hope you share it. Find us on social media. Join us at one of our events. All of the things. Just grateful for every single one of you who listen, share, shoot me funny little texts on you hearing the episode and hopefully it moving the dial in your business. We'll see you soon.